It's your girl Sia, and I'm back with another video, y'all. First things first, today is Friday, so happy Friday to y'all. I'm chilling at home like a villain, okay? But it's cold, you guys. So if you guys hear my little heater in the background, listen, I got heat in my house, like I can turn on the heat. The problem though, well, I can't, they can. They control the heat, and I don't like heat that's controlled. I don't like getting too hot, and I don't like being too cold. And then where I live, the heat, they turn up to like 80 degrees. So every day is super hot in your house. And anybody who lives where I live, they know it's not cold all the time. Okay. Despite it being winter, right? We just had a nice day 2 days ago, yesterday, right? So I don't want to not be able to control my heat. I think that's very imperative. And so I just told them to shut my heat off, and I'll just pay for the little heater or whatever and have my pay my electricity bill. Like I'd rather do that. Um, Anywho, this title today was about remembering where you come from. It was very interesting because yesterday I was cheetah'd out, right? I had my cheetah puffer, my cheetah bodysuit, right? And I remember going into work thinking, dang, I look like a little kid. But I think it's fly, and I don't have nowhere else to wear that stuff to. It's not like I'm going out all the time. So why not wear it to work? I don't have a dress code. You know what I mean? So I'm wearing it to work. And it's so weird because I know people are like, you're an accountant, you do taxes, but look how you dress. Listen, I can doll up at any time. I can dress down at any time. Most of my fits are very classy, but I'm not the girl that you're going to see in a freaking blazer, okay? And some dress pants or whatever. Like, I don't know. I'm getting to, like I told my boss, you want me to start dressing like that? You're going to have to pay for that kind of budget. Right. Because you're not going to have me out here looking like who did it and why. I need to be able to shop at Express, right? Banana Republic, all these places and spend $200-300 on a suit and not give a fuck. Right now, I'm not spending no $200-300 on nobody's suit. Okay. I'm sorry. I understand that Olivia Pope is the bomb. Okay. But I feel like I could be Olivia Pope, I guess a knockoff, right? By doing it the way I've been doing it. And some days, if I want to wear my combat boots and whatever, I'm allowed to do that. If I want to wear my Uggs, I can do that. You know what I mean? So that's the beauty of the company and where we're at right now. However, we are growing to a point. I hate professional clothing. Okay. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But it is what it is. It just comes with the territory. So that's that. Anywho, so I'm super excited because we have a party tonight. And I'm finna do it all out because it's Christmas. I don't have my daughter today. I've already arranged everything with her and her father. But we have a party today. Okay, so we're about to step out tonight. Obviously, it's a more upscale event. So I'm not driving. I've decided that I don't want to drive and hassle with parking and all of that. I'm just going to take an Uber and do it that way. And my boss is like, well, I'll reimburse you. But I'm like, that's a tax write off for me, bro. Like, let me Uber my stuff and I can tax write it off, right? Let me do the tax writing off on, because I have a business and I'm generating an income. And he doesn't know the details of my business because, like I said, when I'm there, it's about him, his business, and where we're going. And I feel like that's fair just because of all the opportunity that I've gained from that experience, right? So I have no problem putting in loyalty where loyalty is due, and needs to be put in. And so I don't mix and mingle my business with his business, right? I don't really talk about it. My coworkers know I have a business, but we don't get into specifics, right? Um, so here's the deal. I'm super excited. Okay. I got my fit planned out. The only thing I have not done is my nails, which is not normal for me. But my nails, because I was getting them done, they're almost to the like growing out, like they're still growing out from the damage that was caused from me getting my nails done so much. And I need it to grow out. I need my nails to heal, and then I can go back to wearing my nails. But I'm really back and forth in my head. Like, I really want my nails done, but I'm tired of paying people for a shitty service. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to go get my nails done, I want it by someone young, someone who knows what they're doing, and someone who I could see being in this position for, years to come, because I'm very loyal, meaning that I would much rather go to one person and one person only to do my nails all the time than having to hop from place to place to place to place because the quality is not the same. It gets on my nerves, it gets tiring, and I'm spending we're really hundreds of dollars on nails alone. So if I'm spending that kind of money, I would expect a quality service. And I can say that it's very hit or miss. It's always dependent on the nail tech's mood or, how good they are. Like, no. So I'm at a point where I'm really seeking a young person. And I say young for a reason. I want a young person that I can grow with and help to grow her business by funding her business, because she does that good of a job, right? Those are the people I really want to start, supporting. And I really have been. It's just my girl went to freak back to Vietnam. And I'm like, come on now. Like, girl, she was so cold at her nails. It was ridiculous. The girl went up one day, I'm going back to Vietnam. What? So of course she can do that. That's her life. But for me, I'm like, come on. And then her brother tried to do the same thing. He's not as good. I don't want that man on my nails. He rushes and he thinks he's doing a good job and he sucks. So I don't know, man. I'm just not impressed with these nail shops out here anymore. I'm just not. I'm kind of over it. I'm almost at a point where I'm ready to go to Target and just go buy me some nails, because them nails at least look good. They may only work for a day, a night, maybe not even get me through the night, but shoot. I would much rather do that at this point than go spend $100-something on some nails that I know I'm gonna get a shitty service on. I just, I don't know. That's just where my head is at right now. But I can go get them done. I want to talk to you guys about remembering where you come from. And that is the title for today. I was talking to an old friend yesterday evening, and it's so crazy how many people are constantly telling me like they're proud of me. Like, wow, you guys have to understand, I leveled up beyond. It's real. Let me say this. I have been feeling a bit lonely where I'm at, and I want to be clear, not desperate lonely. So don't be getting no crazy thoughts. I have been feeling lonely where I'm at because I feel like I came up so soon. Like, in accordance to where everybody else that I knew was at, if that makes sense. So everybody is looking at me like, what the hell? Like, and I could only see and imagine why some of these thoughts around, where I'm at is a bit negative, right? In the sense that my cousin had the nerve to say her mom and them thought I had a disability check. And they had the nerve to go into schizophrenia, y'all, and all these conversations about schizophrenia. And but I ain't never heard anything about me or my bloodline being schizophrenia. Okay, that or whatever, schizophrenic or whatever. But they would suggest these things, and I'm thinking, well, your bloodline is not the same as mine. Understand that just because y'all are family, this is a cousin. We're not the same bloodline. You know what I mean? Do we derive from the same bloodline? Of course. So if you're saying that that bloodline we derive from, are you saying that's the bloodline that's got schizophrenia? Mine. I was like, I don't recall my grandparents being known. Now my grandma died from sickle cell, but these were people that were very prominent, like are in my life. But people will make things up because they can't understand how did you get to where you're at. And I have not attempted to correct these old folks because in my mind, y'all are my older cousin. So my cousin's mom is in her 60s almost. So you haven't developed the art of communication yet. You haven't developed the words to be able to say, hey, Cece, how'd you get to where you at? You gotta be, you're still so low vibrational that you from where I'm at today just to wrap your mind to be able to sit with the fact that you did not bet on me and you lost. You know what I mean? Like just to sit with the fact that y'all did everything they could to try to tear me down and I'm still going. So real I don't know, like, and I appreciate it. I want you guys to understand, I hear this information with the most humblest heart, right? I'm only sharing this with you guys for the point that I'm making today. There's so many people that come to me and they're like, you inspire me, right? I'm inspired by you. Like, you know, you've grown so much. Even in this year, you've grown so much. And I've seen the growth. It's crazy how fast I'm growing. It's almost like, and I say that because I ain't never grown this quickly in my life. Like, it's almost like I'm making up for lost time. Like I'm making up for time that I can't get back. And so everything is like I'm a sponge. And it's crazy because at my age, well, I'm not that old yet, but at my age, you would think that my learning, my craving for learning things is less, I guess. You know what I mean? Um, or I don't know. I don't even know because I think that my peak for almost everything is gonna be further out. It's almost I feel like my timeline. I just feel like things were supposed to happen this way, and my timeline is different for a reason. I don't know why, but it is. Okay. Whereas young people are doing this stuff in their 20s, their teens, and me, I'm like, I'm just now getting to a point where I should have been in my 20s. Maybe. I don't even know if that's true. you know. So it's cool to see it. But it's cool for people to come back and they're like, yo, I am so proud of you. Like, look at where you're at. Like, you've been killing it. Like, you've been doing it. Like, you've been putting in the work, and people really giving me props for where my props are due, right? And recognizing I had my ex, my first boyfriend ever, which he came to me and he was like, wow, like look how far you've come. Like, look at how much you've grown. Like, I'm proud of you. Like, you have been doing amazing. And granted, it's an ex, so you take that with a grain of salt, but I also recognize that he's coming from an honest place because I know it's true. I know he's not just blowing smoke up my brain, but I got discipline, right? So I was just like, yeah, cool. Like, I thanked him for, appreciated him for reaching out and telling me that. And I think the biggest reason why those types of comments matter, especially from people who have known me, women that I grew up with, right? People who are just in my inbox, wow, like, look at where you're at. I had no idea. And these people, what my ex told me, he was like, I always told you you were going to be better than me. Right? That's what he said. I always said that you were going to be better than me. And again, social media is just simply a perception, right? It's a perception, meaning that I have no idea where these people think I'm at, really, right? But I do know that my life has elevated and I've leveled up tremendously. And I thank God, right? Because my level up is personal. However, I'm also looking at everything going on in this reality right now. Okay, there's a lot of things happening, and I'm telling you now, while I understand that these people are striving to do everything that they can to destroy the middle class, it behooves the middle class to begin to take advantage of certain opportunities, and or poor people to take advantage of certain opportunities so that you can at least, what's the word, ensure, you want to increase your rate of survival. Let's put it that way. So even if I may not have, I may know somebody who has, right? If I don't, you know, and you, I would just assume that part of your wanting and your need for survival is going to be a level of currency, whatever that looks like, whether it's food, whether it's, money, and money right now, the times are kind of changing. So to be clear, your dollar is still declining and cryptocurrency is still available. You understand? So there's so many options where people can be making money to set aside and or to buy and or to purchase whatever you need to, so that when things get rough, because they're getting rough, they're going to get worse. Things are not going to get better. And I will say this, I am paying attention. I'm striving to pay more attention to politics right now, just because I feel like they're talking about things now that it's just more interesting now. But I don't feel as though either one of these people are going to be beneficial for the United States at this point. I've said it before. I'm going to keep saying it. We'll see if I change my mind. We've got to get this president impeached. This president's got to go. But again, who knows, right? But he's got to go. Okay. But I really feel as though having people from your past and my past, you have to understand something. These people were around when I had absolutely nothing, right? People who were fighting and wanting to see me get to the next level, but didn't know, but it wasn't my time, I guess. I don't know. Right? Things just didn't work out. Things weren't, for me, it was more of, I was still going through a journey, a tough journey where I had to learn a lot of lessons. Like I went through, like, how they say, gangs, you got to go get your stripes. That's essentially what I did for the last God knows how many years. Right. And now I'm like, okay, this is because of all the hard work that's been put in. When I hear people say, I've been doing great, and they know where I've come from, and I know they know where I come from, and I know they know what my life was like, and me sleeping outside and me having nowhere to go, and, me just going through a bunch of family nonsense and all the shit that I've just been through, right? I almost feel comforted by those comments, because where my life is at now, I feel very isolated. And what I mean by isolated is I've worked so hard to get somewhere, and all I saw was tunnel vision. I didn't really realize how many people I had left behind. Do you understand? I am coming from my whole life of pretty much having the same people in my life my whole life. And this is the shortest amount of time that I've been without these people. So the amount of time that I've been doing great is the amount of time I've been without those people in my life, essentially. So I realize sometimes, not all the time, because I will tell you this thought, it's not it is an occurring thought, but it doesn't happen all the time. I feel as though sometimes I'm very lonely, right? I can still be myself where I'm at, which is great because I've worked hard to be able to do that. However, I feel like I don't know if I was more understood or less understood, or if my past was more of my comfortability zone than where I'm at now. Does that make sense? Now, because I want it bad enough, I'm going for it. But every now and then I feel a bit lonely. I feel like, dang, none of my friends could go. Like it really, and I understand why, because I was attracting the same kinds of people at that point. Even if I had made new friends, I was always the girl that can make new friends, right? But even if I had made new friends, those people were no different than the people I had before them. Because of my mindset, I attracted people to me of all types, but I was only comfortable with a certain type. Now I've been branching off with people that I'm like, dang, in my mind, I still be like, wow, they actually like, I'm cool. But when I look at them, I'm like, y'all are just like me. Like, I'm just like y'all, which is crazy, right? Because it's given me a better perspective on life and understanding that not everybody is the exact same, right? And I know this, but unfortunately, when your mind is only seeing things one way, when you're going in this rat race, in this circle, you're only attracting the same shit, the same experience, same and it could be in different bodies, different places. It wouldn't matter. So it's cool when people come out, right? Because I got the haters, right? It's cool. It's whatever. I'm gonna have haters. One, I'm pretty, and one, I'm doing my I'm doing the damn thing, man. I'm proud of myself. I have a feeling this is where what I've been telling myself. If things can get right after this year, we'll see what happens with this company, because my net worth is on the table for both, right? If I stay with the company, I build my net worth, right? If I go off on my own, I start over again, but I build my net worth. Where my mind is at is if this company is growing to the point where they're talking about headquarters and different offices, and things are happening very quickly. Let me be very clear, right? I didn't realize how quickly the company was growing. And I know that the owner likes to think, 3 steps ahead and stuff like that. But if you're talking about announcing that, like the 401k stuff, that's beneficial. I've got an IRA, but that's beneficial, right? I could use that, right? I could use a 401k, and primarily for tax purposes. That's what, for me at this stage of my life, I would be using it for tax purposes, right? Or if I needed to borrow money or whatever the case may be, the 401k, I feel like at this stage of my life is actually very beneficial. However, that's not enough, because in my opinion, you could go to Qdoba and they're offering the same package. They're offering 401ks, right? So it's all about what you see and what you understand in terms of the company's growth and where they're going and where they're headed. And I see it. I know the moves that have been taken to get to where they're going. And I believe we're kind of there, but they don't want to, like, we're getting there, if that makes sense. Um, my department alone is we're almost at one. Fingers crossed we'll be at 1 million. I believe we're 1 million, hopefully. Hopefully, I think we're sitting at 1 million. The goal for us is to at least get to 2 or 3, at least. Well, 5 is really the ideal, but 2 or 3 million. If we could build it, the part of this is it builds my career and everyone else there, right? If we stay with the company, we have the ability to increase our net worth by thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of dollars. So if you can imagine, y'all, it's getting to a point where my mind is like, if I keep building my business on the side and I stay with this company and I grow with this company, right? Because the owner is only looking at 10 years. He's ready to go. He's ready to retire. He's only looking at 10 years. So I'm like, okay, if my goal is to retire by the time I'm 45, right? That's very doable. So I'm looking at my life and I'm looking at where I am, and I know I'm not there yet. And I know that every aspect of my life plays a key part into where I'm going, right? Don't let me marry somebody that's in the same field as me, because that's about to be cold-blooded, man. Don't let me. Like, I've been thinking about that too. Like, if I was to get married, I probably would want to get married to someone in my field because of the financial advantages that come with it, right? Marriage is a business. If I'm gonna be in business with somebody, I need to be able to be in business with somebody who knows how to make money off the money they already got. You know what I mean? I need to know that you can manage your finances and manage your income and increase your income. Like, you have the skill set for that. So my mind has just been going. But I'm really grateful, like I said, that I have people in my life, whether no matter how big or small, right? Some are significant, some not so much, right? Some played a significant role, some not so much, who remind me where I come from. I don't know that it keeps me humble as much as it is a comforting thought to know, like, somebody knows my story. Somebody knows, the my experience and where I come from, because those aren't conversations being had all the time. And while I am very much a new person, I'm still the same me. So while I feel like I love my life now, I feel like people understand. I maybe the word is identified. That's the word. I was more relatable to the people I knew when I had not much of anything. Now I'm very unrelatable. And that's what puts me in that lonely space. It's like what they say, when you get lonely at the top, right? Or on your journey, you may feel alone because you got to let people go. And right now I'm in a space where I feel like those people don't really see me as relatable anymore, you know? And it's no biggie. I'm not tripping. I'm happy. Life's good. I just appreciate when people reach out and let me know, you know what, I know where you come. I remember you. Like, I remember how hard this was. I remember what you went through. I remember what we went through. I remember where we were at. I've had so many people reach out to me like that. It's crazy. And I'm not rude, because there's no reason to be. They're not being rude. Like, these are people that I cared about. It's just, we have different paths. And my path right now looks a little bit more shinier. Well, it is. Like, that's the truth. I don't know what to tell y'all. But in comparison to other people, I wouldn't know. It's just my life looks shinier right now. That's all. So I'm grateful to know that people recognize how far I've come. I appreciate the feedback, the comments, the good and the bad, to be honest with you, because it lets me know just how far I've come. Like, no matter how much you want to say about me, you're never going to be able to take away the shit that I built, because I built it. You know what I mean? Like, you're never going to be able to, like, I know I see, because you got to understand, I didn't lean on a man for this. I didn't lean on nobody for this, not the government, not nobody. So I know for a fact that I can lose everything tomorrow. God forbid, I don't want to have to go through that, but I could lose it all tomorrow and gain it back tenfold because I did it once already. Do you understand me? So I am in a very interesting place in my life. I'm never above anybody else. I would never say that I'm better than somebody else, but it's very interesting how he used them that terminology, right? And growing up, the young people always tell me, "You think you're better than me." And it's not that I thought that I was better than them. I never said those words. Like, you would never hear those words come out of my mouth. Maybe in having conversation with, like, to explain a circumstance or whatever, but not to just be mean and malicious and I'm better than you. Like, I would never say that. Like, the fuck? That's not even in my personality. However, because of the way I carry myself, right? You're not going to see me do, like, I'm not ratchet. I'm not hood. Unfortunately, though, because of my financial status, I was always around quote unquote hood people, right? So I had to, at some point, claim my identity, reclaim my identity, and remind myself, girl, you are not hood. I was not born in the hood. I don't know shit about, I didn't know nothing about no hood until I got older, until I had to go through a level of financial struggle, right? That's when I learned about the goddamn hood. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known nothing about it. My parents would have sheltered me from it. You know what I mean? Like, I would have, if I'd have stayed back home, I would have gone through, I would have lived a very bougie lifestyle. Like, I would have never known half the people I knew because that was never my foundation. However, I adapted to my environment and I did it very well. Not saying that I was not me, I'm still the same me. I just, because of my experiences, I can relate to other people of all walks of life, you know, and I'm grateful for that. But just because I can relate to them does not mean that their identity is mine, right? And that's where I had to really wake up out of is, girl, this ain't you. So when my boyfriend, you knew who the fuck I was when you started dating me, but then they would tell me things like, "Oh, you're square. You're a square." Yeah. I don't go to jail. Yes, that's a great thing. I don't have to worry about my safety for the most part. That is a great thing. Like, I don't have to worry about the cops knocking on my door. That is an amazing thing, my friend. I don't have to worry about fighting somebody because I just don't do that. Hello, I'm all in for that lifestyle. I don't have to worry about drama from this motherfucker and that mama and that. No, I'm not dealing with it. Okay. So I love my very square lifestyle. I made a very real decision to be square, and that's the life I feel like fits for me. Do I have experience? Some things, yes. Have I tried things? Yes. Have I, but ultimately, I will always feel like people go back to their foundation. So if my foundation is very much a square lifestyle, that's what I'm going to revert back to. Because in my opinion, that's less stress, less drama, less BS. Okay. Period. Hands down, all the way around. Right. So I feel as though, I've had people who they don't understand my journey, but they respect it, right? They may not understand it, but then years later, they're like, dang, man, like they know they fucked up. Like they know they made the wrong decision. Whatever that decision was, if it was to count me out, cool, cool. And now I'm getting all the love and respect on the back end where it's like, damn, I didn't really expect her. I mean, because even with my ex, he could say what he want to say. Those weren't the words that he told me. That man done called me dumb, stupid. I don't know what I'm talking about. I was all kinds of bees. I mean, verbally abusive by all types. I ain't shit. I'm never gonna be shit. That's why he was with his new ex-girl. That's what men love to do. I'm with my new girlfriend because you ain't shit. Okay. Well, when you look back and them roles are reversed, yeah, I would be telling you I'm so proud of you too. I'm just saying if I was in those kinds of shoes. So I'm really loving it here. But again, I'm grateful to be reminded of where I come from. I think sometimes people do that in a way to kind of shit on you a little bit too, or attempt to. Um, but I think folks know I'm strong enough where that shit, I don't tolerate no nonsense, right? So you're only gonna get so much out of me if you think that you finna, try to tell me anything about where you think I'm at or anything else. So that's all I gotta say on the matter, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. Happy Friday. I'm excited for life right now. Whoop whoop. Anyway, you guys have a great weekend. I'm out. Peace.